Covenant House Toronto is hosting its annual Sleep Out. Top Bay Street executives will be ditching their warm beds to sleep on the streets as an act of solidarity and to raise money and awareness for youth experiencing homelessness and sex trafficking. Here to tell us more about it is Mark Aston, the CEO of Covenant House Toronto. Mark, thanks very much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me on, Roger.
How important is it that you get executives and the C-suites involved in this?
It's really critical. I mean, this event is about raising awareness of the issue of youth homelessness in our city. And that's done by engaging business leaders from across Toronto who can not only raise the profile of the issue, but also bring in some critically needed funds for the emergency and winter services that Covenant House needs to provide to young people this winter.
Mark, I'm wondering if you could touch a little bit on just sort of the history of this event. And obviously, it's been very long running, and there's sort of a great background and duration that you've been doing this. But maybe speak on the origin of it, if you can, and just sort of the history of it as a very important event for Bay Street.
Sure. I mean, this event has been running about 13 years now. And it has raised almost $15 million during that time period. This year, we have a target of $1.2 million, and there are about 70 Bay Street executives who will be sleeping out with us this year. And as I said, it raises critical funds to support young people who have nowhere else to go this winter, who are facing homelessness and trafficking. So there's a really illustrious history here of Bay Street getting behind a really important issue in this city.
I have a friend of mine who's been doing it for a few years now, Andy Taylor, and for the ones that have been doing this for some time now, what do they take back after this night? What do they do with it when it comes to going back to their own businesses, their companies, and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, there are two components to this event. The first is you're in the house, right, immersed in what Covenant House does, learning about the programs. You have the opportunity to meet with young people. And that's about 3-4 hours. And then you head out to the sleep site for your date with the pavement, where you're not going to do much sleeping for 6-7 hours. So you really get a chance to reflect on how terrible the issue of youth homelessness is. And so what I have heard from people over the years who have participated, often multiple years in a row, is that it has really personally impacted them and changed their perceptions of the issue of homelessness and really given them the motivation and determination to help young people in our city. So, that's what we're hoping for this year as well, to make a real impact on the 70 participants who are sleeping out with us.
Mark, one of the things you also highlighted was just not only the long history of the event, but also the large sum of money that has been donated over the years. And so for this year or for ongoing years, where are some of the needs most for Covenant House, and how has some of that donation money been invested, and what are some of the positive impacts that have come from that?
Yeah, I mean it has been invested primarily in crisis and emergency services during the winter period, and that would include everything from shelter to warm, nutritious meals to access to health care, specialized health care often for young people who are challenged with mental health or addiction issues. And really building the type of supportive community around young people, so that they can move out of shelter again and move back into the community. So the proceeds from the event have supported a very wide range of services that have really helped young people transform their lives.
Okay, Mark, thank you very much for joining us with this great cause. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Mark Aston is the CEO of Covenant House Toronto.